Need a new set or a quick fix? Then call Mausers at 724-249-2410, and they'll get you ready for the road. Mausers Tire Center. 5 decades of keeping you safe.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone.
Well, thank you, TJ. Welcome to Democratic Hour on WMBS, 590 AM, 101.1 FM. Our telephone number is 724-438-4593. TJ, I got to see you, when is that, Wednesday? Everybody was out at WMBS
Wednesday,
Day at
yeah.
the Fayette County Fair. I enjoyed that.
I did too. I thought it was Friday that day. You
And,
messed up my days of the week.
Well,
I saw the picture of the headphones on your son.
Yes, one of them did speak on the air. Yes, the youngest did.
and I appreciate you guys letting me come on. It was non-political.
Yeah, it was good to have you on.
Well, I appreciate it. T, we start the show out with a little music, and if you
Yeah.
have it, fine. Maybe.
If no, I don't have any today.
Oh, you don't have it?
I never have any music.
Oh, you have something. Oh, there he is. He'll be out at the Italian Festival.
He was with after you left the fair. He came and hung out with me
Oh,
at
I'm
the
a
fair.
Oh, really?
I can't win. Can't win with the
have-
one and only
Do you
TJ.
have funnel cake?
He bought me lunch and dinner. We rode rides. He took the kids on things. That was a good day.
Goodbye, Justin. And welcome to Democratic Hour. We'd like to have a little fun before the show. Speaking of the fair, Rich, I went out. This is the first time, and of course, being a former chair of the Democratic Party, for 8 years, you spend
You have to be
about 10 days each month out at the fair. And my female friend, Jackie, she brought her grandkids down. And Monday, we did the tour of the Fayette County Fair. That's the latest I ever left there, was 11:15.
there. Oh, my goodness.
Let me say this. I've seen all the booths. I've seen where, there's a lot of things people don't realize. There's one where they're awarded for different things at fair, what they make. So I always do that. But I did see something, and I think I could share with everybody here because everybody else was sharing it with everybody. A friend of Jackie's, they have a dairy farm. So they had their cows, and lo and behold, Mama gave birth to a little baby cow out there, and I think everybody was there. Got to see a birth of a baby cow. So I checked on it Wednesday. I was out. It's a pretty baby cow, but that was
I think they
experience.
call it a calf.
I know they do. It's what I call a baby cow, but it's a calf. You're right. So when I was out at WMBS and with TJ and Russ, I think Russ asked me or TJ asked me the question. For the first time, not being in a political booth, you're sitting there, and I know parents get a little aggravated with their kids, the grandparents. They want this, but for me, to see a young boy or girl with a smile on their face, winning a prize or riding or looking at an animal, that's something, you take for granted. But I got to see that for the first time. So that's my little experience with the fair. Rich, I know we said this. We got 88 days to election. It's our midterm. Of course, we got the governor, lieutenant governor running. And like I said, it'll be here. But another important race, and I'm hoping he may make the Italian Festival, is our congressman who's running for Congress, Alan Bradstock.
Yeah.
And we know we have a congressman hasn't done a thing for this district in the 10 years he's been there.
Especially Fayette County.
Fayette County. Guy who, right?
Guy who.
And I'll say it, and if he was here, I would tell him, and I'm going to repeat myself, when they were going to possibly shut a mine down in Greene County, he was trying to kiss up to the president and change the airport. And honor the current president of the United States.
I mean, Alan, I see.
Yeah, he has all the credentials.
Yeah, and he's all over the place right now. I mean, it's hard to go by a day where he doesn't have something posted or where he's some event that he's at.
I notice he has offices now, the current congressman. Washington, Latrobe, and Washington, D.C. And we can't
nothing
find
done
them.
this way.
No, and Contact my office, like Medicare, Social Security, Veterans Affairs, other federal agencies. And of course, we know how he votes in Congress.
Yep.
But we can't find him here in his home district. I say a year ago, and I was there, eyewitness to this, the Central Labor Council set a meeting up in Washington County at his office, and you know where his office
right.
is at.
Yeah.
We were there.
Yes.
They set it up with his chief of staff, with the Labor Council of Greene and Washington County, set a meeting up. He agreed to the meeting, and guess who didn't show up?
He did. It was
He
just,
didn't
what,
show
chief
up.
of staff.
Yeah,
granted
chief of
it.
staff. Somehow, they made excuse for him.
Yeah.
But our candidate, and if you want to get involved, I talked to Tracy Wilson. Tracy is the new chair of the Fayette County Democratic Party, and Matt Lancaster is the vice chair
chair.
of the party. It's and I'm going to leave. I want to say I spoke to Tracy. We're going to have a headquarters, something
Yeah, opening in a headquarters
it'll
on
be
Connellsville Street.
on Connersville Street, and when I get the exact date, maybe next week to make sure it's confirmed, we're going to have probably one of our elected political officials from the state come in, and I'm happy for Tracy and the Democratic Party. And anybody wants to get involved, please. We're going to have an opportunity. We're going to have, voter registrations. We're going to be doing a lot of things out of the office. And like I said, we have 88 days to election. We'll get a very important election.
It's,
It's
I
a
think,
midterm.
I think it's going to be a mess.
Well, I hope it's, again, it's, we said it last week, whoever's the president of the United States could be a D or an R. They always lose the House when we have midterm. And speaking of our local legislators, I guess we have a few here, right? They're not due back till September 9th. You talk about a vacation, right?
Yeah, I wonder how many town halls they're going to have.
I'm gonna
Not
say-
call in town halls, actually town halls where the constituents could go and ask questions. And don't walk off the stage.
And I think the only thing I looked it up, you could probably look it up. I don't know what they're going to be voting on, since I do know that they voted on to raise the minimum
Minimum wage.
But here's the thing: now it's in the Senate, so folks, reach out to Pat Stefano, the senator, and voice his opinion on why they're not taking up the House vote on raising the minimum wage.
And then the skills machines.
Skilled machines, the Supreme Court said that machines they have now are illegal, and I think they have sometime in October date. So we're going to see where that's going to go. And if they can't fix that thing, I don't know what else to say. If you can't sit down as a D or an R to fix these skilled games,
Yeah.
and the court said they're illegal, and everybody knows where they're at here in the county.
Oh, yeah.
They're not hard to find,
You
folks.
can find them at gas stations.
So there's so that's on the agenda. And Rich, and about the war, it's on, it's off, the strait's
Yeah.
open, it's closed. And the other thing too, we talked about Todd Blanche. He wasn't going to be confirmed. He's going to confirm, and now you know what happened, right?
I was not surprised that they caved. For me, President Trump files all his lawsuits against his enemies. And he knows he's not going to win in a lot of those lawsuits. It's the process that is the pain in the butt. So I think some of these Dems were just like, okay, here's their retribution to him. They're just going to hold out and say, well, I don't know how I'm going to vote yet. And, just let it drag on. Let
Was
it
he
sweat
supposed
a
to
little.
vote today? They postponed it on Blanche's.
I think they were trying to set a date. There's no date set. At
Well,
least the last I heard.
And on the federal, of course, the jobs report
Yeah.
come out, right? And of
Boy,
course,
that
we
was a
know how.
disaster.
We know how they like to spin jobs report.
Lost 23,000 jobs.
And he was just in where? Wasn't he in California bragging the best economy in the world?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And then
The mess he inherited from the previous administration, right?
the inflation is exceeding the wage increase. So actually, you get a wage increase, but inflation eats it up.
And then, of course, the court, U.S. Federal Appeals Court ruled today they have to stop the construction, the ballroom. So we're going to see where that plays out, right?
We may end up with a big hole in the
Well,
ground. there.
that's true. That exactly. Hey, speaking of the fair, I want to thank also the Fayette County Democratic women that was out there manning the fair booth, and I was there. I think it was Wednesday, and I've heard a lot of things said when we were out there. But this is what happens, and it's upsetting to me, especially as a veteran, when somebody walks by and looks at us and calls us communists, right?
Right.
Didn't stop to chat. It was him and his wife. I assume it was his wife, elderly gentleman. I'll call him a gentleman. I'd like to call him something else, what I can't say on air. But you looks over there and call you a communist, just walk away, right? So here's somebody, we've been called a lot of things. I've been called a lot of things over the years, but to look over and just to call you a communist. You have two individuals sitting there, both educators who are retired. They have nothing derogatory there. They have voter registration. They had T-shirts. They had yard signs for Austin Davis and Shapiro and Alan Bradstock. And somebody call you a communist.
Well,
I wanted to run down there and tap him on the shoulder. I said, I've been called a lot of things. As a veteran, that upsets me more than anything,
Well, I
right?
think it should.
To him,
Absolutely.
just to walk away as a coward.
Well, they're going on because of the Social Democrats. I mean, they've had some big wins in elections in New York City and then in where was it, Michigan or
Michigan.
Wisconsin. But what are they calling they're trying to pin.
So they're trying to brand us, right?
Yeah, brand us. And why the heck does Trump allowed the federal government to invest in 17 companies already? 17. Now, I always thought, businesses were public enterprises, operate on their own, independent. I mean, I'm starting up a business. I don't want him to invest in my venture.
Like I say, nothing should shock us. But for somebody to walk by, and people, you spend a lot of time out at the fair, and both parties do it. But somebody just walk by arbitrarily and call you a communist.
Yeah.
And of course, another gentleman stopped by, and I called him a gentleman. He wasn't happy about anything. I said, "Are you independent?" Then he talked about. We told him what the Democratic Party has stood for and what benefits he has today. He said, well, that was years ago.
Yeah.
I said, well, guess what? Years ago, we might have did what we said they did, but yet they're in there protecting what somebody's trying to take away from me. T, we have a caller on the line?
We do.
Let's see what we got.
All right. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Good afternoon, ladies. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, you're talking about this. Trump on his Truth Social media put out there that, and again, I'm no socialist, but said that socialists should be rounded up and put in prison and then deported. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going back. Whether you agree with somebody's opinion or not, that's the freedom of speech. I don't like what a lot of them are saying, but to say that and he doesn't say, these people are citizens. He's saying they round them up, put them in prison, and deport them. Okay, whatever. But there he is again with the separation and the hate and the division, and there's no unification. There's always division,
Right.
pitting one point against another. Sanctions. Now, I have listened to Fox Entertainment, and I've never heard them say anything about China and how China has put sanctions on the United States. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
I haven't heard anything
I
about
have
that.
not.
Yeah,
and I follow that stuff rather closely.
but this has happened this week. China has put sanctions on the United States, and they have gone into doing the same thing that we have done. It's kind of tit for tat. They've gone in and said there's U.S. companies that they're blackballing that won't be able to do business in China, and they're going through certain companies that make certain things, stuff for drones,
Right.
electronics, different things that they are not selling parts to come over here.
Right.
So think about this, guys.
Well,
You have a lot of things that come from China,
There's
and
no
now they're
doubt
putting
about that.
sanctions on. And now they're putting sanctions on it. So when you go out there and you have a piece of equipment or a pickup truck or whatever, and you have parts coming from China, guess what's going to happen?
well, wait
gonna pay more for
for
it.
the battle on the rare earth minerals.
Oh, right, and that's another thing that you need
Yeah.
to make. And everybody sits down and says that this guy he's such a great
Businessman.
deal maker. You know what? I don't believe half the things that he says and half the people he says he's making deals with. I think it's in his mind, because I don't think they're making deals with him at all. And the deals that he's made, what you're seeing, and people don't like it when I say this, but what you're seeing is these deals benefit him and his family and his organization, but it has set us back as a country, these deals. And we're the ones that are going to pay for them down the line. It's just amazing to me how he continues to make these deals, and we're going to pay for them 5-10 years down the line. We'll still be paying for them.
Look what I said last week when I went up to see my brother in Michigan. With the soybeans. Look what he did to the soybean industry because he took on China, and who got suffered was the farmers and we.
And look what he's done. He's immune for the taxes. It's past taxes. I mean, if you're guilty, go out there and try to do something to get immunity. I mean, there has to be something there.
Yeah, there has to be something there because he's trying to make it where he's untouchable. You can't get him for the term that he's in there, but even down the line, you can't. He's trying to get it where you can't get anybody associated with him even.
Yeah.
One last thing. Now you guys. You guys are pretty sharp tools in the drawer. Let me ask you this question: if you have a foreign country that in 2024 gave $127 million to certain candidates to get them elected, why would they be giving that money? Because right now that same country, Israel, has given $108 million, and we're not even to November yet.
Yeah.
It's probably going to double to $200 million. So let me ask you this, because I probably ask other people on this station, and you would get a totally different answer. But why would a foreign country give these certain candidates money for their campaign?
Well, we know because they're going to get something in return. You wash my hand, I'm going to wash your hand.
Exactly. But you can't get people to admit to this. They don't want to admit that this country is pulling strings and trying to, and not just anybody. They're trying to get people that are on certain, panels on the Armed Services Committee.
Yeah.
These are pretty high up people that they're trying to get in their pocket, but nobody really wants to talk about.
Well, we know why we're in where we're at now since February.
Absolutely. And this isn't going, he said today or yesterday, we're not close to a deal. We're close to a deal in his mind.
He's dreaming of it.
Yeah, he's dreaming of a deal. This is going to get worse and worse over there. And, you look at certain things, guys, you can pick up on this. When they said that weapons weren't an issue, it is an issue. Because you look at what's out of sight right now. Certain components to make these weapons are through the roof. And that tells me that they are behind on them. They're trying to make these and manufacture to try and catch up because these components, you can't find them.
Well, James, before I let you go, the other thing I read, very interesting, it's not the first time, those who are deployed on that aircraft carrier.
USS Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln. If you'd hear some of the stories that parents are putting out, that, to be out there, since February?
No, it was since last fall.
Yeah, about the supplies, what they're getting, what they're not
shower.
getting. Right.
Yeah.
So, but that's what's going on. James, we appreciate we're going to grab another call.
They said that about the Ford, too.
Yeah.
The Gerald Ford. I mean, there were talks. Guys, have a great weekend.
Right, thank you. We appreciate it.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking with?
How you doing, Pete?
Hey, Pete, Semper Fi, brother.
Yeah, Semper Fi. Listen to you talk your program.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to tell you, I was a Marine on a aircraft carrier, and I was on the Valley Forge, and there's no way you can keep that 5,000 Marines stuck on a ship for very long. About 6 weeks, I figure, is about all they can stand.
No, like you said, never been out there for months and months.
Right, and everything goes downhill from there. So you have to go into the ports every now and then. But anyway, I want to call about listening to news of Republicans calling us Democrats communists.
Yeah.
Well, I got called communist out at the Fayette County Fair.
Yeah, I can't believe Republicans are doing that. I believe in capitalism. I vote. I serve my country. I believe I'm a citizen. I ain't no communist. I don't. It just makes me mad. But I can understand it, like they're calling Democrats socialist. Okay? Well, if you think about it, capitalism hasn't worked very good for a lot of people because, the way I understand it, 1% control 10% of the wealth. 10% of the billionaires control 90% of the wealth, if the facts are right. So that leaves 10% for the rest of us. That don't sound like capitalism is working very good here for a lot of people.
Well, I still think capitalism is the best structure.
Right, I do too. I had a business for 28 years. I
Yeah.
believe in capitalism. But how about this? Democratic socialist. There was a democratic socialist in office during World War II. His name was Franklin Roosevelt. They called him a democratic socialist, a communist, a Bolshevik, or whatever that is. but look what he did. He got us into he got us Social Security.
Yep.
He wanted to try to get the people of America health care, but then the war came along and he couldn't. Tell me one thing the Republicans ever did, passed anything for working people. I like to know what it is.
If you find out, please let us know because I haven't found out. That's
Oh,
that was my argument. I was just fair with the gentleman. You know, what's the Democratic
Yeah.
Party? You know, and I brought up OSHA and EMSA, Social Security,
Right.
you name it. I've told him. He still didn't want to believe me.
They 8-hour work day,
Right.
40-hour work week, Social Security. They brought in Social Security. They was called all kind of names for that. I mean, and Lyndon Johnson brought in Medicaid.
Civil rights, you
Tell
know.
me one thing the Republicans ever brought in for working people or poor people.
I know what they're trying to do to us. Like we said, we can't get a local legislator to vote for raising the minimum wage in
Right.
Pennsylvania.
They're trying right now and can't get it. Look how long has Pennsylvania had minimum wage.
I
It's a
think,
shame.
yes.
It's a shame. You can't live on that money.
Stuck on $7.25 an hour.
Right.
Pete, what else you got on your mind?
So that's what I wanted to say. I can understand why a lot of people are frustrated with capitalism because it hasn't worked for a lot of Americans. So anyway, that's what
All
I
right.
want to say, and thank you for letting me say it.
You got it, Pete. Semper Fi, brother.
Okay, Semper Fi. Bye.
Once a Marine, I called somebody ex-Marine. That was the worst thing I ever said. Let me say this. They corrected me. You could say you're in the Army. You could say you're in the Navy. But Marines, there's a, what's the word I want to use? Like, they're so tightly knit,
Yes.
right? And they're proud of what they do. Not that I'm not proud of them as Army, but they're more proud when you say Marine.
Well, that's the same way with the Naval Air Force, the landing on aircraft carriers. Call them an aviator because you don't call them a pilot.
Where did I just hear yesterday with somebody here locally? Actually, I know where I was. He was a pilot, and he was telling us how he landed on an aircraft carrier. Truly amazing.
Yeah.
What goes on, and
The synchronization with everybody on the flight deck.
on the flight deck, and he was going through that. And I just can't imagine. I knew somebody who wasn't a pilot. He actually, somebody near and dear to me, went to Naval Academy. He ended up in the Marine Corps. And so he got to go up, and actually, when they call in a strike, when he's on the ground, the pilot's obviously in the air. So this was a training mission. He got to be in a seat with the pilot. So with the pilot, especially a guy's calling in an airstrike, so he got a rude awakening.
Oh, I can imagine.
Of course, he had the burp bag with him. But that was the first thing. And again, it's Democratic Hour on WMBS. Our telephone number is 438-4593. Also, if you have any questions, folks, 88 days to midterm. So please call the Bureau of Elections, 724-430-1289. Rich, and of course, with all the discussions going around throughout the country, I know there's going to be something that they're going to dream up here. And I don't know where that deal with the postal, right? He was going to say,
Yeah, wanted to get the states to turn over their voter rolls.
Right.
Yeah. Come on, it's states run the election.
They run the
Individual
election, and to this day, we still don't know what it's cost county, what it cost with John Mariana's shenanigans going through the court system here.
Oh, we had a pretty good estimate earlier when we were talking about it. It was what, over $150,000?
And we couldn't get the exact amount of money
Yeah.
what it cost us, and the courts threw it out.
Yeah.
There was nothing that went on. It was everything was up front and legal, and
Well,
They do an outstanding job, folks down there.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
nothing is tied in with the internet.
no,
It's a voting.
vote. Yeah, and
And
there's
it-
a backup paper ballot.
And then, of course, you know, it was I don't know how many years ago when the Republicans wanted a mail-in ballot.
Yep.
And so the Democrats, there was a compromise.
Well, states like Colorado
Yeah,
and Oregon,
no,
that's primarily how they
They all
vote, is
vote.
mail in. Alaska.
Yep. And then, you know, just of course, the current president of the United States wants to eliminate but I guess the serviceman, he doesn't have a problem voting by mail, right? 'Cause
No,
they're
well,
not
they
a-
should.
Yeah,
to be
but
able.
you know, but he says,
Yeah.
but he votes by mail.
Yeah. Well, he said he was busy.
Oh, busy. Yeah,
Or
he's
maybe
busy.
he was on the golf course that day.
Oh, and then last weekend he won his championship again, right? Folks, oh my goodness. But
Aye.
again, folks, midterms, you know, and I brought up the fair. And again, the Fayette County Democratic Women will not be at Five Corners this weekend
Because of Italian Fest.
but they will be in Connersville,
Connersville.
and you'll see them 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We got a caller on the line, T. Let's see what we got.
do. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Well, it's Sean from the mountain.
Hey, Sean, where have you been, brother?
Well, you know, it's Fair Week, George. I keep just missing you as you
That's
go
what
in
I
and out,
heard.
so-
That's what I heard. I don't know if you heard me earlier. Of course, everybody, for me, this wouldn't be strange to you, but I did get to see, what'd you say, Rich? I called a baby cow, a calf being
Birth of
born.
a calf.
Yes, I did. But go ahead,
Good
Sean.
for you.
So you've been out
No,
there?
no, it's fun.
I,
It's been a good week, and I just to
oh, you still with us? Uh-oh. Did we lose Sean?
party, whatever, and go out and bid at the auction. That's going to be happening this evening.
When is it? Today or tomorrow, the auction?
Yes, this evening. This evening.
What are you going to bid
Happens
on?
soon. So, oh, me? Well, you know me. I live on a farm. I got a freezer full, but not everybody can benefit like I can. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't want to bid on something that big, that massive, you can still go in and silently bid for the pens of chickens or some pens of rabbits. And if you don't want to eat them, they can be wonderful pets too. So, support the kids there too.
Yeah,
so
that's what the fair is
all,
about.
all kinds of ways that you can support the 4-H kids.
Hey, Sean,
One more thing I wanted to mention,
Yeah,
George,
please.
before was that the vote on the farm bill happened this week.
Oh, did it? I didn't even see that.
Yes, and the Republicans just couldn't wait to get online and say how much the Democrats really are opposed to the farmer, because it was the Democrats that put it down. And the reason why, just so everyone's aware of the reasoning behind why they did, was because nothing was addressed about SNAP. Absolutely nothing that has been completely decimated and destroyed by this administration was even put back at all in any way, shape, or form back into this current form of the farm bill. So there's a reason why the Democrats voted it down. They are not anti-farmer in any way, shape, or form. I mean, we know where our food is. We know where our food comes from, where our bread's buttered. But, to not address this extremely important program that not only benefits people, and I know they're so afraid to give anybody that what they consider a freebie,
You're
but
right.
beyond helping the very poor and disenfranchised, beyond helping the WIC and the mothers that need nourishment for babies that they supposedly love so much, this money directly goes back to the farmer. This is a huge benefit to the farmer without having to be a handout to the farmer. Okay, so this is a huge issue, and it's not just SNAP and WIC. Those are the ones that we just know of right off the top of my head. But there are so many more programs that were not addressed at all by the Farm Bill in its current form. That's why the Democrats couldn't push it through and couldn't endorse
and
it.
those recipients of SNAP and the other programs, they are voters.
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of
Absolutely.
them are in red
And they're
states
not necessarily,
looking for handouts.
illegal immigrants and blah, 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 and looking for and people that don't want to work and all this other garbage that they put out there. There are times in your life where you need help. And I'll tell you what, the state of the economy, I'm getting there pretty soon too. I mean, it's getting pretty ugly.
Well, Sean, the other thing you brought up,
Fluctuation in fuel prices.
when you
Yeah,
did
go ahead.
your show, farming show on WMBS, we hope
Yeah.
again that you're going to be on. But here's the other thing: you've been in a lot of farmers markets. People don't realize those people are buying products there on a Saturday through their SNAP program. Now they don't have it.
Absolutely. There's a ton of programs
that they can utilize for the farmers market that directly help the farmer. I mean, right there, no in between, no 7 or 8 different steps, and just a direct marketing right there at the farmers market. And our president got rid of it. And half of the problems that we've been having with agriculture, these cryptosporosis things that come through with the lettuce and all the things that happen with the screwworm epidemic that we've addressed for years, but because of the Elon Musk slashes through everything, getting rid of all of these, the sheer stupidity, getting rid of all these people, these inspectors that were stopping this stuff from even coming into the country. Now we have to deal with it. Now it's making people sick. Now it's costing us a fortune because it's jacked up the prices on absolutely everything, all consumable goods.
Hey,
So,
Sean, before we grab another caller, what do you think of the
Yes, sir.
new building they put up out at the
oh,
fair?
the brand new building
Yeah.
out at the fair. Well, it's spectacular, and it was
Yeah.
long overdue.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm glad that they did it, and I hope they keep going with it. I know our dairy goats could use another barn. I know that there are various things that we could continue to do with it. I hope they take the ball and keep running with it. I hope they don't just stop it there. But yeah, absolutely, 100% necessary. And anything that supports agriculture, I'm behind it, and I know the Democrats are behind it too. That was the point of my call today.
Well, I
that,
appreciate it,
you know,
Sean.
you can't make agriculture one of those issues where it's us against them. It's just nonsense.
So Rich and I should go out tonight and bid on something?
Absolutely, George. Go out there, get a bunch of your friends, split a steer or something.
I know where I paid for
buy
a
a pen of
few,
rabbits.
I know where I paid for a few steers in my life.
Well, I tell you, when you sit down, you do the math of how much you actually eat in beef a year.
Yes.
Believe me, I mean
Yes.
you're eating a couple cows a year, buddy. So whether you think so or not, I mean, whether it's just hamburgers or it's steaks or it's ingredients in the food that you do eat, man, it's a lot.
Anybody
So,
listen? So when does the auction start? Tonight?
it's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yeah,
So everybody
yeah.
go out
So-
there and, like Sean says, you can buy some
Fire in
pigs,
there.
you can buy some chickens, rabbits, about everything.
Just about everything.
Well, Sean, we appreciate it, and if I make it out there, you can rest assured I'll try to find you.
All righty, buddy. I'll see you later.
And that's Sean from the mountain. Sean did he had a show here last year. It was it was good. About every, what might say, farmer's market. He talked about all the farmer's market, just not here, the surrounding counties. And
Yeah, I go to the farmers market in
right here in
Uniontown on
Uniontown. I
Saturdays.
think it's great.
Almost every Saturday I'm
Yeah.
down there. There's some wonderful, wonderful stuff.
I mean, if you're going like you said, Rich, you cook, I don't. You go down and you could buy, this, and that. Here's the other thing I just read. Where the peaches were bad this year because of the frost conditions. So
Yeah.
But again, folks, farmers markets there. You can't miss it in Uniontown, right across from Cluss Lumber, and stop by and help your local farmer.
Yep.
And again, we appreciate Sean's call and Pete's and James. And again, our telephone number is 724-438-4593. So
one thing we haven't talked about, situation with Mitch McConnell.
yes, no, is he back? I heard that he was released from the hospital.
I guess he's at home.
He's at home, so he can't vote. He's at home. They never did say he fell. Am I right?
Yes.
Mm.
I mean,
And the governor of Kentucky,
it won't
what-
even. I mean, if he could call some Republicans in the House and the Senate, why can't he call the governor?
because somebody called so and so out. He claims he talked for 45 minutes
Yeah.
with Mitch McConnell, and the guy said to him, "Why don't you pick up the phone now and see if he'll talk to us on air?"
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I think there's if he doesn't do something shortly with Mitch McConnell, I think they want him to. Now you figure he's not running again, right?
Yeah, his
If
term
he's-
will be up. Yeah.
And wouldn't you think he would just go ahead and resign? He's not going to go back. If he is, you figure you have 88 days to election. I don't know how many more times you're going to have a vote, but again,
Yeah, I mean, Lindsey Graham's sister filled his spot. I guess she's going to run for a full term. But it gets me to thinking. I mean, a lot of people and a lot of Republicans went after Joe Biden last year,
oh, absolutely, we know that.
and they went after his age. Okay,
Sleepy Joe, but yet we got Sleepy you know who. But go ahead, Rich.
I mean, I'm sympathetic.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's a difficult job. There's no doubt about that.
absolutely. And I'm leaning more and more to age limits.
Well, I never thought I'd say that, but you're 100% correct.
Yeah. I'm
Or
leaning
term
more and more-
limits.
Term limits. Yeah.
I never thought that myself, but they have to do something because
Yeah.
what's going on there now, it's, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's an age limit. Do you have to be, 35 to run for president? But, there's no end to the age.
I've talked to somebody that was in Harrisburg for a long time, and this particular was a female, and she said, when she first got in, you may disagree, but you could always sit down and have a conversation. But she said, not today.
Yeah.
They go their way, we go our way, and that's it. And that's sad. All right, see what we got, guys.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Ken, how you doing, George? Rich?
Hey, what's up, Ken?
Hey, I'll tell you, our men and women that serving on that ship
The Lincoln,
overseas,
USS
the
Lincoln.
yeah,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. It's like, why in the world? They can at least fly in from another ship or from land. I mean, it's not that far, but they need to supply these people. That is not right.
No.
He doesn't care. Give him an exit. Give him a testosterone shot and let him go.
Oh, Pete,
I
maybe
cannot
Pete ought to
understand
spend
that.
some time on that aircraft carrier, right?
Right. You know what? It is unbelievable that the people, the military that vote for him, the police officers, and I can't understand. He doesn't appreciate any of them. Not a one. Not a one. They're over there defending supposedly to keep somebody from having a nuclear weapon. I think it was all because of Israel and Netanyahu. They had a deal, but you can't do that. I mean, that is not right. They ration the water. I guess the water is filthy. The
Yeah.
mold in the
Yeah.
ship.
They can't even laundry their own clothes.
That's all the reporting. I mean, again, they're kicking a can down the road like it doesn't happen. You imagine, people don't realize you're putting 5,000 people on a vessel.
Yeah, and I can understand now why Hegseth doesn't want reporters in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Stuff
Right.
like this happens.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It
Yeah.
should not happen. I mean, these people, they not only do they have families back here, but they have jobs and everything else that they could. But I don't know. It really frustrates me.
Well, Ken, you
But,
brought up
he'll
something.
do it.
You brought up something, and I spoke earlier about the fair when I called him a gentleman. We were having a discussion out there about different things, and I brought up January 6th. What do you think he said to me? Didn't happen.
Yeah. Well,
Guess who he blamed it? I blamed it on Nancy Pelosi. Only person got killed was
The one but who's trying to break in.
I mean, like it never happened. I said, where do you get this information from? What did you see that we didn't see?
Yeah.
He didn't discourage him from going over. It wasn't violent. Nobody got beat up, right? I'm thinking to myself, and this, there's more than one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it said
and
this.
that's Fox News. They don't cover anything completely.
Then I brought up
And
what
they'll-
you said, the current war. I said, you like what's going on? You have a problem paying for gasoline? He wanted to throw the blame on somebody else, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it's definitely Biden's fault.
Yeah.
Because he backed out of the race. I think he could have still won. But anyway,
Yeah, now they're trying to give money to the J6ers.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that Cassidy,
Yeah.
of course, he's going to change his vote to put Blanche in. And you know what? I can't. I think you have Republicans, and then you have MAGA, and then you have the crooks, which are Trumps. And I can't believe that these people don't realize what they're doing to the country and what they're doing to the people. I mean, they're ripping them off. They don't give a damn. They just let it go. They let it go. They brush it off. That Cassidy, he wasn't going to vote for Trump or for Blanche, and now he is.
Yeah.
Of course, he got several calls. Now, he either was threatened or he got a paycheck.
Yeah, there's some kind of
One way or the other.
I'd like to know if there's some kind of a side deal.
I'll guarantee it. Guaranteed.
Could
Because
you imagine
know
any
what?
other administration having an attorney general as your personal attorney?
A criminal
Attorney. Yeah, right.
personal criminal attorney.
Right. Of course, he didn't do a good job for him anyway because he was found guilty. But anyway, I wouldn't even have. But that's just the way he is. And of course, they're going to try to get them the payment for the slush fund for January 6th people that was arrested and busted up the place. And something has to be done for sure. But God bless you guys.
Well,
Keep up
thanks,
the good
Skin. We
work.
appreciate it. And again,
All right.
this Democratic Hour on WMBS, we probably have a minute or two to take a call for 724-438-4593. And if we don't get a caller, folks, you're going to have a good weekend. Please stop down at Italian Festival. I know Jimmy and the crew was on. We got a caller on, T. Maybe we'll grab
We
one
do.
more call. Let's see what we
about
got.
5 minutes
All
left.
right.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
You're speaking with Mark from Republic.
Hey, what's up, Mark? You got the last couple minutes, brother.
Okay, George, I just want to remind you,
Yes.
John F. Kennedy had his brother Bobby as Attorney General.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to let you know,
I knew you'd keep us straight.
Yeah. Well, hey, what better place to learn to be Attorney General, huh?
Well, that's true there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to tell you something. Wanted to share something with you. What did you brought up something about a week ago that you found, or did you posted something? And I was going to look into it. I forgot. I wrote a note down. I apologize to you, Mark. I can't remember what it was.
Might have been somebody else.
No, unless there's two Marks. That's all I could say.
Oh, okay.
No, there was nothing derogatory. No, it was something you asked, and I said I'd get back to you, and then I thought it was you, and again.
Okay.
So what you got planned? You going to come into town, Italian Festival?
Probably Sunday afternoon, yeah.
Well, they're probably going to have the mass like they usually do with the
Yeah.
Bishop of Greensburg. Am I correct?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I really don't. But I remember going to the first one though, back in 1980.
Well, that was I do remember that myself. That was big.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, you couldn't walk past where Morgantown Street came down to Main Street. You couldn't walk past there because of the stage there, and I can remember how packed it was.
Well, I'm glad they have it. And, there's a lot of work. I told Jimmy and him I may go out tomorrow morning and help them for a little bit, in my little humble way, to help the Italian Festival, and I'll do what I got to do. Mark, we're going to wrap this up. We appreciate you listening to the show, and have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
And again, we want to thank James and Pete and Sean and Ken and Mark and TJ. Thank you for keeping the show going,
You're
even
welcome.
though, you can't use the word I want to say with Justin Timberlake. I mean, you're taking all the credit.
That's right.
But
We still got 2 minutes. We can talk about him for the last 2 minutes.
No, we won't do that.
We're not going to do
No,
that.
no, we're not going to do that.
No, TJ, you could talk about the Pirates.
I'm not giving up on
They're
them yet.
done.
Well,
They're done. It's football season now.
Well, that's true. Hey, by any chance, did you watch the game yesterday?
The football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the first half.
And I was rooting for Kenny Pickett. I mean, I'm really, truly, when I made the choice, the guy won a Super Bowl, and now he's on his fifth team in football. But, hey, he's still playing, and he's making a good seller, being a backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's not
And
getting beaten up.
And again, I want to thank everybody who called, and I want to remind everybody, the Fayette County Fair is still going on. We still have a booth out there. You want to get involved. When I talk to Trace, you will find out exactly when the headquarters is going to be open, and people could come up and get involved, knock on doors, whatever we got to do. We got to make sure our candidates is out, and we'll do everything here in the county to get Alan Bradstock elected to Congress. And again, T, we got about a minute.
We got about a minute, yeah.
All right, Rich, you want to wrap it up?
Oh, I don't know. Where should I go? I like Sean's call, about the SNAP program.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And those programs,
There are millions of families.
they're hurting. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's people who qualify for SNAP who worked their whole life. It's not like,
To me, there's a big difference between asking for a helping hand and asking for a handout. The helping hand,
we could
Yeah,
spend
that's fine.
$1 billion on the war, but you can't feed the less fortunate.
yeah, I don't know.
And again, we'll be back on the Democratic Hour next Friday. Rich, thanks for coming in. T, thanks for keeping the show going. And,
My pleasure.
And again, folks, have a safe weekend, and we'll be back next Friday on the Democratic Hour on WMBS.
You have been listening to the Democratic Radio Hour, heard every Friday at 3:15, right here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
And we have sun and 84. Low going to be 70 tonight. Scattered showers and storms still in the forecast. More scattered showers and storms tomorrow, 86. Partly cloudy on Sunday, 87. And again, chance of showers and storms back on Monday with a high of 87. Again, sunny and 84 right now. We have Fox News coming up here at the top of the hour. This is WMBS Uniontown at 4 o'clock.
Billions for mining. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. President Trump just announced a series of mining projects worth $3